Imagine being so broke that you're living in your car, writing plays on napkins and old envelopes. Now imagine that same person becoming a billionaire who owns one of the largest film studios in America. This isn't a fairy tale. This is the absolutely incredible, true story of Tyler Perry. But here's what will shock you the most. The darkest moments of his childhood that nearly destroyed him actually became the foundation of his empire. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will change how you see success forever. What's up, success seekers? Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the most inspiring rags-to-riches stories that prove anything is possible. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because you don't want to miss these life-changing stories. Today, we're uncovering the jaw-dropping journey of Tyler Perry. From a childhood so traumatic it would break most people, to building a billion-dollar entertainment empire. But here's the twist that nobody talks about. The very experiences that scarred him became his greatest superpower. Tyler Perry's story begins in New Orleans in 1969, but this isn't your typical childhood story. Born Emmett Perry Jr., his early years were marked by something no child should ever endure: severe physical and emotional abuse at the hands of his own father. Picture this: a young boy so desperate to escape his reality that he would create entire worlds in his mind just to survive another day. Tyler's father didn't just discipline him, he tortured him. We're talking about beatings so severe that they left permanent scars, both physical and emotional. But here's where it gets even more heartbreaking. Tyler's mother, while loving, was trapped in her own cycle of abuse and couldn't protect him. The family moved constantly, never staying in one place long enough for Tyler to form lasting friendships or feel secure. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. When you hear stories like this, what do you expect the outcome to be? Most people would assume this kind of trauma would lead to a life of struggle and pain. But Tyler Perry's story is about to take a turn that will absolutely blow your mind. Comment below and tell me, how do you think childhood trauma can actually become someone's greatest strength? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. At age 16, something happened that changed everything. Tyler legally changed his name from Emmett to Tyler, symbolically killing off the identity tied to his abusive father. But the real transformation came when he watched an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show about people who had overcome childhood abuse through writing. That single television episode planted a seed that would grow into a billion-dollar empire. Tyler began writing letters to himself, letters that would eventually become the foundation of his most famous character, Madea. But here's what's absolutely fascinating. Tyler didn't just write to heal himself. He discovered something that would become his secret weapon in entertainment. Authentic pain creates authentic connection. The raw emotions he poured onto paper resonated with millions of people who had similar experiences. In his early 20s, Tyler took every penny he had, about $12,000, and staged his first play in Atlanta. Want to know how it went? It was a complete disaster. 30 people showed up. 30. Most people would have given up right there, but Tyler saw something in those 30 people that nobody else did. Question for you: have you ever failed at something so badly that it made you want to quit? Drop a comment and share your experience, because what Tyler did next will inspire you to never give up on your dreams. Here's where Tyler Perry's story gets really incredible and really painful. For the next 6 years, he lived in his car. Let me repeat that. A future billionaire was homeless, sleeping in his car, writing plays on whatever paper he could find. But Tyler had a vision that nobody else could see. While he was struggling to afford food, he was building an empire in his mind. He continued staging plays, each one slightly better than the last, slowly building an audience of people who saw themselves in his stories. The breakthrough moment came in 2005 with Diary of a Mad Black Woman. But here's the part that will shock you. Hollywood wanted nothing to do with Tyler Perry. Major studios passed on his projects because they didn't understand his audience. They couldn't see the gold mine he was sitting on. So what did Tyler do? He distributed the movie himself. And it made $50.7 million at the box office on just a $5.5 million budget. Suddenly, Hollywood was paying attention. But Tyler had learned something crucial during those years of rejection. Don't let others define your worth or your vision. This lesson would prove to be worth literally billions. By 2019, Tyler Perry had achieved something that would have seemed impossible during those nights sleeping in his car. He became a billionaire. But here's what makes his success even more remarkable. He did it by staying true to the authentic voice that came from his darkest moments. The Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta sits on 330 acres, larger than Disney's Hollywood Studios and Universal Studios combined. But the real power of his empire isn't just in the size. It's in the complete creative control he maintained. While other entertainers were getting rich, making other people richer, Tyler built a system where he owned everything: the content, the distribution, the studios, everything. This wasn't luck. This was the strategic thinking of someone who had learned that depending on others for validation or opportunity was a recipe for disappointment. But here's the detail that will give you chills. Tyler Perry's studio lot includes recreations of the White House, a 1950-style Main Street, and a replica of his childhood home in New Orleans. He literally built his empire on the foundation of his memories, both painful and powerful. Let's talk about Madea, the character that everybody knows, but few people understand the depth behind. Madea wasn't just a funny character Tyler created for entertainment. She was therapy, rebellion, and empowerment all wrapped into one. You see, Madea represented everything Tyler wished he could have been during his childhood. Fearless, protective, unwilling to take abuse from anyone. Through this character, Tyler wasn't just entertaining audiences. He was healing his own inner child while helping millions of others do the same. The Madea movies have grossed over $660 million worldwide. But the real impact? Tyler created a safe space for conversations about family dysfunction, abuse, forgiveness, and healing in communities that desperately needed it. Here's a question that I really want you to think about. What would you create if you transformed your biggest pain into your greatest purpose? Let me know in the comments, because your answer might inspire someone else. Here's what separates Tyler Perry from most entertainers. He thinks like an owner, not an employee. While his peers were focused on getting the next role or the next deal, Tyler was building infrastructure. His business model is absolutely genius. He owns his content, produces it cheaply and efficiently, and has built a loyal audience that shows up regardless of what critics say. This is an accident. This is the result of understanding his market better than anyone else. Tyler Perry Studios operates like a well-oiled machine, producing multiple projects simultaneously while maintaining complete creative control. He's proven that you don't need Hollywood's approval to build Hollywood-level success. But here's the masterstroke. Tyler didn't just build a business for himself. He's created opportunities for hundreds of actors, writers, directors, and crew members who look like him and share similar stories. His empire lifts others while it grows. Success changed Tyler Perry, but not in the way you might expect. Instead of becoming isolated by his wealth, he became more generous. His philanthropy is legendary, from paying off people's layaway items during Christmas to covering funeral expenses for families in need. But the most powerful example of his generosity came during the pandemic, when he paid for groceries for thousands of families and covered the cost for seniors' prescriptions. This isn't just charity. This is someone who remembers what it feels like to have nothing and refuses to let others suffer if he can help. Tyler's generosity extends to his professional relationships too. He's known for paying his actors well above industry standards and treating everyone on his sets with respect and dignity. This comes from someone who knows what it feels like to be undervalued and overlooked. If you're inspired by this level of generosity, smash that like button and let me know in the comments what you would do to help others if you had Tyler Perry's resources. So what can we learn from Tyler Perry's incredible journey? First, your worst experiences don't have to define your limitations. They can become your greatest advantages. Tyler took the trauma that nearly destroyed him and turned it into content that connected with millions. Second, ownership is everything. Tyler didn't just want to be successful in someone else's system. He built his own system. This level of control allowed him to maximize his impact and his income. Third, authenticity is your superpower. In a world full of manufactured entertainment, Tyler's raw honesty about family dysfunction, abuse, and healing resonated because it was real. People can spot fake from a mile away, but authentic connection is magnetic. Fourth, think bigger than your current circumstances. While Tyler was sleeping in his car, he was envisioning movie studios and billion-dollar empires. Your current situation is not your final destination. What's the biggest lesson you're taking from Tyler Perry's story? Drop in the comments. I read every single one, and I love hearing your insights. Tyler Perry's story is far from over. At 54, he's still creating, still building, still inspiring. His recent projects show an artist who refuses to be boxed in by others' expectations of what he should create. But perhaps his greatest legacy isn't in the movies he's made or the money he's earned. It's in the blueprint he's created for turning pain into purpose, trauma into triumph, and vision into reality. Every time someone watches a Tyler Perry production, they're seeing the result of a decision made by a traumatized child to transform his pain into something powerful. They're witnessing the compound effect of refusing to give up, even when sleeping in a car seemed like rock bottom. Here's what I want you to remember. Tyler Perry's empire wasn't built in spite of his difficult beginning. It was built because of it. Your struggles aren't disqualifying you from success. They're preparing you for it. Tyler Perry's journey from foster care to fame isn't just an entertainment success story. It's a masterclass in turning your deepest wounds into your greatest weapons. From sleeping in his car to owning one of the largest studios in America, Tyler proved that your starting point doesn't determine your ending point. But here's what I want you to take away from this. Tyler Perry's success wasn't just about talent or luck. It was about making a decision to use his pain as fuel instead of letting it be his prison. If this story inspired you, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, smash that like button if you believe that anyone can overcome their circumstances. Second, subscribe and hit the notification bell because we're diving deep into more incredible success stories that will change how you see what's possible. Third, comment below and tell me, what's one challenge in your life right now that you're going to start seeing as preparation for your success instead of a roadblock? And here's a question that will keep you thinking long after this video ends. If Tyler Perry could build $1 billion empire from the pain of his childhood, what empire could you build from the experiences that have shaped you? Your story isn't over, it's just beginning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll uncover another incredible journey from struggle to success.